Welcome back to my channel, Silent Truth Vault. Tonight's story begins with a simple phone call. But by the end, I would discover a secret buried for 20 years. Part 1, The Call from the Dead. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I was 28 years old when a dead woman called my phone. At least, that's what I thought. It happened on a rainy Tuesday evening. I had just returned home from work. The apartment was quiet. The city lights glowed outside my window. Everything felt normal, until my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. Something told me to answer. Hello. Silence. A few seconds passed. Then I heard breathing. Slow. Weak. Like someone struggling to speak. Hello. I repeated. Then a woman's voice whispered. Sarah, don't go to the cemetery. My heart skipped a beat. What? The voice sounded terrified, desperate. Then she repeated. Don't go tomorrow. The line went dead. I stared at my phone. Confused. Shaken. How did she know? Tomorrow was the anniversary of my mother's death. Every year I visited her grave. Every year. Nobody knew my plans. Nobody. Yet somehow this stranger did. I tried calling the number back. It didn't exist. No records. No connection. Nothing. That night I barely slept. The woman's voice echoed inside my head. Don't go tomorrow. The next morning I convinced myself it was a prank. A coincidence. Nothing more. At noon I drove to Green Hollow Cemetery. Dark clouds covered the sky. Rain fell lightly. The cemetery was almost empty. I carried flowers toward my mother's grave. But when I reached it, I froze. The flowers already lying there were fresh. Very fresh. Someone had visited only minutes earlier. My stomach tightened. Then I noticed a note tucked beneath the flowers. My hands trembled as I unfolded it. Only 6 words were written. I tried to warn you. A chill ran through my body. The handwriting looked familiar. Terrifyingly familiar. I had seen it before. Many times. Because it belonged to my mother. The mother who died 20 years ago. Then suddenly, a voice whispered behind me. You're finally here. I turned around, and my blood ran cold. Because standing between the gravestones was a woman who looked exactly like my dead mother. The woman at the grave. The woman looked exactly like my dead mother. My heart nearly stopped. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't think. The rain continued falling around us. Cold drops struck my face. Yet I barely noticed, because the woman standing 20 feet away looked identical to my mother. The same dark hair, the same green eyes, the same face. Impossible. My mother died 20 years ago. I attended her funeral. I saw her coffin. I watched them lower it into the ground. Yet here she was, standing among the gravestones, watching me. My hands began shaking. No, the word escaped my lips. The woman took a step forward. Immediately, I stepped back. Fear exploded inside my chest. Who was she? How could she look exactly like my mother? The woman raised her hands slowly, almost as if she didn't want to scare me. Sarah. My blood turned cold. She knew my name. Who are you? The question came out weaker than I intended. The woman's expression filled with sadness. Then she answered. The wrong question. The cemetery suddenly felt very quiet. Too quiet. Even the rain seemed distant. My pulse thundered. What? The woman glanced around nervously. Then whispered. We don't have much time. Fear crawled through my stomach. What are you talking about? She looked directly into my eyes. Then said something that changed everything. Your mother isn't buried here. The world stopped. My heartbeat vanished. What? The woman pointed toward the grave. Toward the headstone. Toward the place I had visited every year for 2 decades. Then repeated. She's not here. I stared at her, certain I had misunderstood. Certain this had to be some horrible joke. Then she reached into her coat pocket and removed a photograph. Old, faded, yellowed by time. She handed it to me. My hands trembled as I looked down. The photograph showed my mother. Young, smiling, standing beside another woman. A woman who looked exactly like the stranger in front of me. My pulse accelerated. The date written at the bottom read. June 2006. My stomach dropped. Impossible. My mother died in 2005. At least, that's what everyone told me. Then the woman quietly said. Now do you understand? I didn't. Not even a little. My entire world felt like it was collapsing. Then suddenly, a black car pulled into the cemetery. Fast, too fast. The woman immediately froze. Fear filled her eyes. Real fear. Then she whispered, "Oh no." What? The black car stopped near the entrance. Its windows were completely tinted. Nobody got out. Nobody moved. Yet somehow the woman looked terrified. "We have to leave." My pulse quickened. "Why?" She grabbed my wrist. Her hand felt ice cold. Then she said 4 words that made my blood run cold. "They found you." The car door opened. A man stepped out. Tall. Wearing a black suit. Dark sunglasses. Despite the rain. Despite the weather. The woman immediately pulled me toward the trees. "Run." Everything inside me screamed for answers. But something about the man felt wrong. Very wrong. The way he moved. The way he watched us. The way he smiled. I ran. The woman led me through the cemetery. Past rows of graves. Past ancient statues. Past crumbling headstones. Then we entered the woods behind the cemetery. The rain became heavier. Branches scratched my arms. Mud covered my shoes. Still we ran. Only after several minutes did we stop. Breathing hard. Exhausted. The woman looked behind us repeatedly. Checking. Watching. Waiting. Finally I pulled away from her. "Tell me the truth." She remained silent. No more secrets. The woman closed her eyes. Then slowly nodded. "Okay." For several seconds she stared at the ground. Then she spoke. "My name is Rebecca." The name meant nothing to me. Then she added, "I'm your mother's sister." My heart skipped a beat. "What?" I stared at her, completely shocked. My mother never had a sister. At least that's what I believed. Rebecca gave a sad smile. "That's what they wanted you to think." Fear crawled through my chest. They. Rebecca looked toward the road. Toward the cemetery. Toward the black car. Then she whispered, "The people who took your mother." The forest became silent. Only the rain remained. I felt dizzy. Confused. Terrified. "What do you mean took her?" Rebecca's eyes filled with tears. Then she answered, "Your mother never died." The words hit me like a truck. Everything froze. My pulse thundered. My breathing stopped. My mind refused to accept it. Then Rebecca reached into her pocket once more. And handed me a folded piece of paper. An old letter. The handwriting instantly made my stomach drop. Because I recognized it immediately. It belonged to my mother. The first line read, "Sarah, if you're reading this, it means they finally found you." My hands began shaking. The rain continued falling around us. But I barely noticed. My eyes remained fixed on the letter. On my mother's handwriting. The handwriting of a woman who supposedly died 20 years ago. My heart pounded violently. Rebecca stood silently beside me. Waiting. Watching. Then I continued. Reading. Sarah, if you were reading this letter, then everything has gone wrong. I wanted to stay. I wanted to raise you. I wanted to watch you grow up. But I couldn't. The people looking for me are dangerous. Far more dangerous than you can imagine. If they ever discover who you are, they will come for you too. Please remember one thing. I never abandoned you. Never. Everything I did was to protect you. And if Rebecca gives you this letter, trust her. No matter what happens, trust her. Love, Mom. The letter ended there. My vision blurred. Tears filled my eyes. For 20 years I believed my mother had died. 20 years. And now, everything I knew was falling apart. I looked at Rebecca. Where is she? Rebecca hesitated. Fear crossed her face. Then she answered, "I don't know." The words hit me hard. "What do you mean you don't know?" Rebecca looked away. "The last time I saw her was 17 years ago." My stomach twisted. 17 years. She nodded. "She contacted me once." The forest suddenly felt colder. "What did she say?" Rebecca swallowed hard. Then answered, "She told me to watch over you." Silence. Only the sound of rain remained. Then suddenly, a branch snapped somewhere behind us. Both of us froze. Rebecca immediately turned, listening, watching. Fear appeared in her eyes again. They followed us. My pulse quickened. "Who?" Rebecca didn't answer. Instead she grabbed my arm. "We have to move." The branch snapped again, closer this time, then another, and another. Someone was definitely in the woods. Watching us. Following us. My heart began racing. We hurried deeper into the forest. The trees grew thicker. The path disappeared. Soon the cemetery was far behind us. Then Rebecca stopped suddenly. Ahead stood a small cabin. Old, weathered, hidden among the trees. I stared at it. What is this place? Rebecca looked toward the cabin. Then whispered, "A safe house." The words didn't make me feel safe. Not even close. We entered quickly. Rebecca locked the door, then closed every curtain. The cabin became dark, silent, almost suffocating. Then she walked to an old wooden table and opened a hidden drawer. Inside was a small metal box. My pulse accelerated. Rebecca slowly opened it, and my heart nearly stopped. Inside were dozens of photographs. Every photograph showed my mother. Different years, different places, different disguises. Running, hiding, watching, always watching. The newest photograph was only 6 months old. I stared at it, unable to speak. My mother looked older, but she was alive, actually alive. Tears filled my eyes. Then I noticed something strange. In every photograph, the same man appeared in the background, watching her, a tall man wearing black sunglasses. My blood turned cold. The same man from the cemetery. Rebecca noticed my expression. "You see him?" I nodded slowly. "Who is he?" Rebecca became silent, too silent. Then she whispered, "His name is Daniel Cross." The name meant nothing to me, yet the fear in her voice said everything. "What does he want?" Rebecca closed the box, then looked directly into my eyes. And what she said next made my blood run cold. "He thinks your mother stole something." The room fell silent. "What?" Rebecca nodded. "He has spent 20 years searching for her." My pulse thundered. "Searching for what?" Rebecca hesitated, then answered, "You." The cabin suddenly felt much smaller. My heart nearly stopped. "What do you mean?" Rebecca walked to the window, carefully pulling back the curtain, checking outside. Then she whispered, "Sarah." A long pause followed. Then she finished the sentence. "You were never supposed to exist." Silence. Complete silence. The words echoed inside my head. I felt dizzy, confused, terrified. Then suddenly, 3 loud knocks echoed through the cabin. Knock, knock, knock. Rebecca froze. The color vanished from her face. My pulse exploded. Nobody should know we were here. Nobody. Then a man's voice came from outside. Calm, cold, patient. A voice that made Rebecca tremble. "Sarah, I know you're inside." My blood turned to ice. The voice continued, "Your mother has been hiding the truth from you." Then a long pause followed. And finally he said the words that changed everything. "Ask Rebecca why your real name isn't Sarah. Ask Rebecca why your real name isn't Sarah." The voice echoed through the cabin. Cold, calm, patient. My heart pounded violently. Outside, rain hammered against the windows. Inside, silence filled the room. I turned toward Rebecca. Her face had gone completely pale. Fear filled her eyes. Real fear, the kind that cannot be faked. Slowly, I looked back toward the door. "Who is he?" Rebecca swallowed hard. "Daniel Cross. The man from the photographs. The man who had spent 20 years searching for my mother. The man standing outside right now." Then his voice came again. "I don't want to hurt you, Sarah." A pause. "Or should I call you Emily?" My stomach dropped. Emily. The name meant nothing to me. Yet hearing it felt strangely familiar. Like a forgotten memory trying to surface. I looked at Rebecca. "Answer him." Rebecca remained silent. "Rebecca." Tears appeared in her eyes. Then she whispered, "Because he's telling the truth." The room spun. My heart nearly stopped. "What?" Rebecca lowered her head. "Your real name isn't Sarah." Silence. Complete silence. Everything I believed about myself suddenly felt uncertain. Then another knock came. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel's voice remained calm. "She deserves the truth." Rebecca closed her eyes, then finally spoke. "Your name was Emily." The words echoed through the cabin. "No." I stepped backward. "No." Rebecca nodded sadly. "When you were 5 years old, your mother changed everything." My pulse thundered. "Why?" Rebecca walked toward the metal box. Then removed an old photograph. One I'd never seen before. She handed it to me. My hands trembled. The picture showed my mother, Rebecca, and a little girl with dark hair. Standing between them, my blood turned cold. It was me. On the back of the photograph was a date. October 12, 2010. I stared at it, unable to breathe. The date was wrong. Impossible. I was 28 years old. Yet according to the photograph, I should have been much younger. Then Rebecca whispered, "Your records were changed." What? Everything was changed. My stomach twisted. Birth certificates, school records, medical files, everything. Then she revealed something even worse. "You aren't 28. The room fell silent. My pulse exploded. "What?" Rebecca's voice shook. "You're 23. I couldn't speak, couldn't think. 5 years. 5 missing years. 5 years that somehow didn't exist. Then suddenly, a flash exploded inside my head. A memory. A dark hallway. Bright white lights. People screaming. A woman crying. My mother. Then a man's voice. "Take the child." I gasped. The vision vanished. Rebecca immediately grabbed my shoulders. "What did you see?" My breathing became rapid. "I don't know. But deep down, I did know. Those memories felt real. Too real." Then Daniel spoke again from outside. This time louder. "Sarah." A pause. "Emily." Another pause. Then, "Your mother didn't hide you from me." The rain seemed to stop. Even the wind disappeared. I stared at the door, fear spreading through every part of me. Then Daniel finished his sentence. And what he said made my blood run cold. "She hid you from your father." Silence. The room froze. My heart stopped. "Father?" Rebecca looked horrified. "No." Daniel laughed softly. "Tell her the truth." Rebecca backed away, shaking her head. "No. Tell her. Stop. Tell her." Then Daniel shouted. "Tell her who her father is." The cabin trembled. My pulse thundered. I looked at Rebecca. Her eyes filled with tears. Then she whispered the words I never expected to hear. "Daniel isn't hunting you, Emily." A long pause followed. Then she finished the sentence. "He's trying to save you." The room became silent. Completely silent. Every belief I had shattered. Every answer created 10 more questions. Then suddenly, a gunshot exploded outside. Bang! The cabin windows shattered. Glass flew across the room. Rebecca screamed. I dropped to the floor. Then another gunshot. Bang! And a terrified voice outside yelled, "Daniel, get down." My heart nearly stopped. Because someone else was out there. Someone watching us. Someone hunting Daniel. And judging by the fear in his voice, they had finally found him. "Daniel, get down." The shout echoed through the forest. A split second later, bang! Another gunshot shattered the night. Wood splintered from the cabin wall. I dropped behind a table. My heart hammered against my chest. Outside, chaos erupted. People were shouting, running, firing weapons. The forest had become a battlefield. Rebecca grabbed my arm. "We have to leave." "What is happening?" Fear filled her eyes. "They found us." Before I could ask who they were, the cabin door exploded inward. Crash! A man stumbled inside. My pulse nearly stopped. It was Daniel Cross. The man from the cemetery. The man from the photographs. The man who supposedly spent 20 years searching for me. Blood covered his shoulder. He looked exhausted, desperate. Yet the first thing he said wasn't about himself. It was about me. Emily. The name hit me again. Emily. Not Sarah. Emily. Daniel looked directly into my eyes. "They're here for you." Outside, gunfire continued. Rebecca immediately pointed a pistol at him. "Stay away from her." Daniel ignored the weapon. Instead, he pulled a small flash drive from his pocket. Then tossed it toward me. I caught it instinctively. "What is this?" Daniel's face darkened. "The truth." Thunder rolled across the sky. Rain pounded against the broken windows. Then a terrifying scream echoed from outside. Not a normal scream. A scream filled with pure terror. Daniel immediately froze. Rebecca froze too. Both looked terrified. My stomach tightened. What was that? Neither answered. Then I heard it again. Closer this time. A man screaming. Then suddenly, silence. Complete silence. Daniel whispered, "Oh no." Fear crawled through my body. "What?" Daniel slowly looked toward the forest. Then answered, "They brought one." The words meant nothing to me. Yet Rebecca's reaction terrified me. The color vanished from her face. "No." Daniel nodded. "Yes." The room became silent. Then something moved outside. A shadow. Tall. Far too tall. It crossed the window for only a second. Yet my blood turned cold. Because whatever it wasn't human. Daniel immediately locked the door. Then covered the windows. Listen carefully. His voice had become deadly serious. If we stay here, we die. Another scream echoed through the woods. Then suddenly stopped. Like someone switched it off. My pulse thundered. What are those people? Daniel looked at me, then revealed something that changed everything. They aren't after your mother. A pause. They're after you. I stared at him, confused, terrified. Why? Daniel hesitated, then slowly answered. Because you're Project E. The room spun. What? Daniel looked exhausted, like a man carrying a burden for years. Then he continued. 23 years ago, a secret organization started an experiment. The rain seemed to grow louder. An experiment involving children. My stomach tightened. Rebecca closed her eyes, as if she already knew where this story was going. Daniel pointed toward me. You were the only survivor. Silence. Complete silence. The words echoed inside my head. The only survivor. Then another memory flashed through my mind. White rooms. Doctors. Needles. Machines. People wearing masks. A little girl crying. Me. I gasped. The vision vanished. Daniel immediately noticed. You remembered something. I nodded slowly. Fear filled my chest. Then suddenly, a loud thud hit the cabin roof. Everyone froze. Another thud followed. Something heavy had landed above us. Then came scratching. Slow scratching. Moving across the ceiling. My pulse exploded. The sound didn't resemble an animal. It sounded wrong. Unnatural. Daniel quietly pulled a flashlight from his pocket. Then aimed it upward. The scratching stopped. For several seconds nothing happened. Then, a hand punched through the roof. My scream caught in my throat. The hand was pale, thin, far too long, human fingers, yet impossibly stretched. Then another hand appeared, and another. Whatever was on the roof began tearing through the wood. Daniel immediately shouted, "Run!" The ceiling collapsed, wood exploded everywhere, and a creature dropped into the cabin. My heart nearly stopped. It looked human, almost, but its arms were too long. Its eyes completely white. Its mouth stretched into an impossible grin. The creature slowly turned its head toward me, then smiled wider, and spoke in a voice that sounded exactly like my mother's. Emily, we finally found you. Part 6, we finally found you. Emily, we finally found you. The creature smiled. Its white eyes locked onto mine. My blood turned to ice. The voice was my mother's voice. Exactly my mother's voice. Every word, every tone, every sound. Impossible. The creature took a step forward. Wood cracked beneath its feet. Its long fingers twitched unnaturally, like broken puppet strings. Daniel immediately stepped between us. Don't listen to it. The creature laughed. A horrible sound. Then its face began changing. My heart nearly stopped. The features shifted, twisted, moved, until the creature looked exactly like my mother. Exactly. The same face from old photographs. The same eyes. The same smile. Tears filled my eyes. For one terrible second, I wanted to believe it. Then Rebecca screamed, "Emily, no." The creature's smile widened. Poor Rebecca. Its voice echoed through the cabin. Still lying after all these years. Daniel raised his pistol. Back away. The creature looked amused, almost bored. Then it tilted its head. And whispered, "You still think bullets matter?" The lights inside the cabin exploded. Glass shattered everywhere. Darkness swallowed the room. My pulse thundered. Then suddenly, the creature vanished. Gone. Completely gone. Silence filled the cabin. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Then something touched my shoulder. I screamed, spinning around, only to find Rebecca standing there. Fear covered her face. "We have to go." Outside the forest had become silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that comes before disaster. Daniel looked through the broken doorway. Then cursed. What? His face turned pale. "The hunters are dead." A chill ran through my body. The armed men outside. The ones shooting. The ones chasing us. Gone. Every one of them. Daniel grabbed a flashlight. Then stepped outside. Reluctantly, Rebecca and I followed. The sight waiting for us was horrifying. The forest floor was covered in weapons. Flashlights. Backpacks. Equipment. But no bodies. No blood. Nothing. It was as if dozens of people had simply disappeared. Vanished. My stomach twisted. Then I noticed something. Footprints. Hundreds of footprints. Leading deeper into the woods. Daniel immediately saw them too. No. Fear appeared in his eyes. Again. What is it? Daniel pointed toward the tracks. They're heading to the facility. The word hit me. Facility. Another memory flashed inside my head. White hallways. Steel doors. Children crying. A symbol painted on a wall. A black circle with a white line through it. I staggered backward. Rebecca caught me. You remembered. I nodded slowly. The images felt clearer now. Closer. Real. Then Daniel spoke quietly. The memories are returning. My pulse quickened. What facility? Daniel hesitated. Then answered. The place where you were created. Silence. The forest seemed to stop breathing. What? Daniel looked directly into my eyes. Emily. A long pause. Then he revealed the truth. Your mother didn't give birth to you. The world froze. Every sound disappeared. I stared at him, unable to process the words. What did you say? Rebecca looked away. Tears filled her eyes. Daniel lowered his head, then repeated. She wasn't your biological mother. The ground felt unstable, like it might disappear beneath me. Everything I believed, everything I knew, gone. Then Daniel handed me another photograph. An old photograph, taken inside a laboratory. My hands trembled. At the center of the picture stood a young woman. She looked exactly like me. Not similar, not close. Exactly. The same eyes, the same face, the same smile. My heart nearly stopped. Who is she? Daniel's voice became barely a whisper. Subject 0. Thunder exploded above us. Rain poured from the sky. Then Daniel revealed the secret that had been hidden for 23 years. She was your original template. My pulse thundered. No. Daniel nodded slowly. Project E wasn't an experiment. A pause. It was a cloning program. The photograph slipped from my fingers. The forest spun around me. Nothing made sense anymore. Nothing. Then suddenly, a voice echoed through the trees. A woman's voice. Soft. Familiar. Terrifyingly familiar. Emily. My heart stopped. I knew that voice. I knew it better than my own. Slowly, I turned around. A woman stepped from the darkness. Rain falling around her. Tears filling her eyes. She looked older than the photographs. Older than the memories. But there was no mistake. No doubt. No confusion. Because for the first time in 23 years, I was looking at my mother. Alive. For the first time in 23 years, I was looking at my mother. The rain poured from the dark sky. Thunder rumbled in the distance. Yet none of it mattered. I couldn't take my eyes off her. She looked older than the woman in the photographs. Older than the woman in my memories. But it was her. Without question. Without doubt. My mother. Alive. Tears filled her eyes. Emily. My heart pounded violently. The name sounded different when she said it. Familiar. Warm. Real. For a moment, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then I ran toward her. The years of confusion. The years of loneliness. The years of believing she was dead. Everything crashed into me at once. My mother wrapped her arms around me. And for the first time in my life, I felt whole. Tears streamed down both our faces. I thought you died. My voice broke. She held me tighter. I know. Why didn't you come back? Pain filled her eyes. The question clearly hurt. Then she whispered. Because they would have killed you. Silence fell over the forest. Daniel remained nearby, watching, guarding. Rebecca quietly wiped tears from her face. Then suddenly, my mother looked behind us. Fear appeared instantly. Real fear. The kind I'd seen in Rebecca. The kind I'd seen in Daniel. We don't have much time. My pulse quickened. What is it? Instead of answering, she looked toward Daniel. Did they find the facility? Daniel nodded. My mother's face went pale. Oh God. Fear crawled into my stomach. Nobody needed to explain. Whatever was happening, it was bad. Very bad. Then my mother grabbed my hand. We need to leave. Leave where? The underground facility. The word sent a chill through me. The same place from my memories. The same place Daniel mentioned. The place where Project E began. My pulse accelerated. Why? My mother hesitated, then answered. Because that's where the truth is. Thunder exploded overhead. The forest briefly lit up. Then I noticed something terrifying. A figure standing between the trees. watching us, motionless. A woman. My heart nearly stopped, because the woman looked exactly like me. The same face, the same eyes, the same hair, everything. I blinked. The figure vanished. Gone. My breathing became rapid. Did you see that? Everyone became silent. Nobody asked what I saw, because somehow, they already knew. My mother slowly closed her eyes, then whispered, "Subject 0. The name hit me immediately. The woman from the photograph. The original template. The first clone. My stomach twisted. She's alive. Nobody answered, which terrified me more. Then suddenly, a deafening scream echoed through the forest. Not human, not animal, something else, something worse. Daniel immediately pulled out his weapon. Move. The scream came again. Closer, much closer. Branches snapped in the darkness. Something large was moving between the trees. Fast, very fast. Rebecca looked terrified. They released it. My mother grabbed my arm. We run. Now. Nobody argued. We ran. The forest blurred around us. Rain soaked my clothes. Mud splashed beneath my feet. Behind us, the screams continued. Then came heavy footsteps. Massive footsteps. Whatever was chasing us wasn't trying to hide anymore. It wanted us to hear it. It wanted us afraid. Then a memory flashed inside my head. A steel cage. Warning signs. Scientists arguing. A file marked Subject X. My heart nearly stopped. I knew that name. I had never heard it before. Yet somehow, I knew it. Then Daniel shouted, "Get down." A massive shape crashed through the trees ahead. Everyone stopped. My pulse exploded. The thing standing before us was nearly 8 feet tall. Its body looked human, almost, but its limbs were too long. Its skin was pale gray. Its eyes completely black, and carved into its chest was a symbol. A black circle with a white line through it. The same symbol from my memory. Subject X. The creature slowly smiled, then spoke, and the voice that came out made my blood run cold, because it sounded exactly like mine. "Hello, Emily." The creature smiled. Its black eyes stared directly into mine. My blood turned to ice. The voice was identical to mine. Every word, every tone, every sound. It was like hearing myself speak. Only colder. Wrong somehow. The rain continued falling around us. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Subject X tilted its head, studying me, watching me. Then it smiled wider. "I've waited a long time to meet you." My pulse thundered. Daniel immediately raised his weapon. "Stay back." Subject X slowly looked toward him, almost amused, then laughed. A deep, unnatural laugh. "Daniel." A pause. "You never learn." Before anyone could react, Subject X moved. The creature vanished. Gone. 1 second it stood 20 feet away. The next second, crash. Daniel flew backward through a tree. Wood exploded. The forest shook. My heart nearly stopped. Subject X stood where Daniel had been, moving impossibly fast. Rebecca screamed. My mother pulled me backward. "Run." We turned and ran. Branches whipped against our faces. Mud splashed beneath our feet. Behind us came the sound of destruction. Trees snapping, ground shaking. The monster was following. Then suddenly, a gunshot echoed. Bang. Daniel, still alive. Another shot followed. Bang. Then another. Bang. For several seconds the sounds continued. Then silence. My stomach twisted. Had Daniel survived? Nobody knew. Nobody stopped. We kept running. The forest gradually changed. The trees became thinner. The ground became rocky. Then I saw it. A massive steel door built into the side of a mountain. Ancient. Rusting. Hidden. My pulse quickened. The underground facility. The place from my memories. The place where everything began. My mother rushed toward a keypad beside the entrance. Her hands shook. She entered a code. Nothing happened. Fear crossed her face. Then she entered another. Still nothing. No. The word escaped her lips. What? My mother looked terrified. The power is gone. Thunder exploded overhead. Then came a familiar laugh. Everyone froze. Subject X stepped from the trees. Unharmed. Untouched. Smiling. Its black eyes glowed in the darkness. Slowly it approached. Like a predator. Like it already knew the hunt was over. My mother stepped in front of me. Protective. Determined. Subject X watched her carefully. Then spoke softly. Dr. Morgan. The name hit me. Dr. Morgan. My mother. My real mother. Not just a victim. Not just a fugitive. A scientist. A creator. The realization made my stomach drop. Subject X smiled. Tell her. My mother looked away. Fear filled her face. Then Subject X repeated. Tell her what you did. Silence. Only rain remained. Then my mother whispered. I'm sorry. My pulse accelerated. For what? Tears appeared in her eyes. Then she answered. Project E was my idea. The world froze. My heart stopped. No. Impossible. My mother began crying. I thought I could help people. The rain fell harder. I thought I could save lives. Subject X laughed. A cruel laugh. Then my mother continued. We were trying to eliminate disease. We were trying to create perfect genetic matches. We were trying to save children. A pause. Then her voice broke. We failed. The truth hit like a hammer. Project E. The experiments. The clones. The facility. My mother created it. Then Subject X stepped closer. You didn't fail. Its smile widened. You succeeded. Fear exploded through me. Then the creature pointed toward me. Emily is proof. My pulse thundered. Then suddenly, the steel door behind us groaned. Everyone turned. Slowly, very slowly, the massive entrance began opening by itself. A dark corridor appeared beyond it. Ancient lights flickered inside. The facility was waking up. After all these years, Subject X stopped smiling. For the first time, it actually looked surprised. Then a voice echoed from deep inside the facility. A woman's voice. Calm, cold, impossible. Subject X. Return immediately. Silence. Complete silence. My heart nearly stopped. Because I recognized that voice. Everyone did. The voice belonged to the woman in the old photograph. The original template. The first clone. Subject 0. And somehow, after 23 years, she was still alive. Subject X. Return immediately. The voice echoed through the facility. Cold, calm, powerful. Everyone froze. Even Subject X. For the first time since I had seen the creature. It looked uncertain, almost afraid. The massive steel door continued opening. Ancient gears groaned. Dust fell from the ceiling. A dark corridor stretched deep into the mountain. Lights flickered weakly, as if the facility had suddenly come back to life. My pulse thundered. Subject 0. The original template. The first clone. The woman from the photograph. Still alive. After 23 years. Impossible. Then the voice spoke again. Subject X. A pause. Then, this is your final warning. Subject X smiled. But the smile looked forced now. Uncomfortable. Then it answered. No. Silence followed. The rain seemed to stop. Even the wind disappeared. Then the voice became colder. Much colder. Then you leave me no choice. Suddenly, every light inside the facility turned on. At once, bright white light flooded the entrance. The mountain shook violently. A deep rumble echoed beneath our feet. And somewhere below us, something enormous woke up. My stomach tightened. Subject X stepped backward. Actually backward. Fear appeared in its black eyes. My mother immediately noticed. So it's true. The creature slowly turned toward her. What is? My mother's face became pale. You're afraid of her. The words hung in the air. Subject X didn't answer, which was answer enough. Then suddenly, a woman appeared inside the facility entrance. My heart nearly stopped. She looked exactly like me. Not similar, not close. Exactly. The same eyes, the same face, the same smile, only older, stronger, colder. Subject 0. Silence filled the forest. The woman calmly walked forward. Rain touched her skin, yet she didn't seem to notice. Didn't seem human at all. Her gray eyes focused on Subject X. Then she simply said, "Enough." The creature roared, a terrifying sound. Then it charged. The ground exploded beneath its feet. Trees shook. The monster moved faster than anything I had ever seen. Straight toward Subject 0. My pulse exploded. Then something impossible happened. Subject 0 raised one hand. Nothing more. Just one hand. Subject X froze. Instantly, like an invisible force had grabbed it. The creature struggled, roared, fought, but couldn't move. Not even an inch. The forest fell silent. Everyone stared. My mother, Rebecca, Daniel, who had somehow emerged from the trees injured but alive. Everyone. Subject 0 slowly approached the trapped creature. Then whispered, "You were my greatest mistake." Subject X screamed. The sound shook the mountain. Then its body began changing, cracking, breaking. Its gray skin split apart. Dark energy leaked from inside. My blood ran cold, because beneath the skin, there wasn't flesh, there wasn't muscle, there was something else, something unnatural, something alive. Then Subject 0 looked at me. For the first time, our eyes met, and a strange feeling washed over me. Recognition, connection, almost like looking into a mirror. Then she spoke. "Emily." My heart pounded. "Who are you?" The woman smiled sadly, then answered, "I am what you were meant to become." The words echoed inside my head. Then memories exploded behind my eyes. Thousands of memories, laboratories, scientists, experiments, children, failures, years of hidden history. I saw Subject 0, created in a laboratory, raised inside this facility, tested, studied, feared. Then I saw something worse. Something terrifying. Project E wasn't about cloning. Not really. Cloning was only the beginning. The real goal had been something else. Something far bigger. Then Subject 0 spoke again, and revealed the secret that changed everything. We were never clones. Silence. What? Subject 0 looked toward my mother. Then back at me. We were designed. My pulse accelerated. Designed for what? The answer came immediately, and it made my blood run cold. To survive what is coming. Thunder exploded across the sky. The mountain trembled. Then every alarm inside the facility suddenly activated. Red lights flashed. Sirens screamed. Subject 0's expression changed instantly. Fear appeared in her eyes. Real fear. Then she looked toward the depths of the facility. And whispered, "Oh no." My stomach tightened. "What?" Subject 0 stared into the darkness below. Then slowly answered, "They opened level 7. The entire mountain shook violently. A deafening roar echoed from somewhere deep underground. Not human. Not animal. Something far worse. Then the facility lights went dark. Every single one. And in the darkness, hundreds of glowing eyes suddenly opened. Hundreds of glowing eyes suddenly opened. The darkness inside the facility came alive. My heart nearly stopped. The eyes were everywhere. In the hallways. Behind broken windows. Inside laboratories. Watching us. Waiting. The alarms continued screaming. Red emergency lights flashed through the darkness. Subject 0's face turned pale. For the first time, she looked terrified. "What is level 7? I asked. My voice barely worked. Subject 0 didn't answer immediately. She kept staring into the darkness. Then she whispered, "The place where we buried our failures." A chill ran through my body. Failures. Plural. Not one. Not two. Many. Daniel stepped forward. His shoulder was still bleeding. "What escaped?" Subject 0 looked at him. Then answered, "Everything." Silence. The mountain shook again. A deafening roar echoed from deep underground. Then came another. And another. Different voices. Different creatures. My stomach twisted. Rebecca backed away. "Oh God." My mother closed her eyes. As if she already knew what was coming. Then Subject 0 turned toward me. "We need to get inside." "What?" My pulse accelerated. "Are you crazy?" Subject 0 pointed toward the forest. Toward the darkness. Then toward the facility. "You can stay out here." A pause. "Or die out here." The answer was obvious. None of us wanted to enter that place. Yet we had no choice. Then something moved among the glowing eyes. Fast. Very fast. A shadow rushed through the corridor. Then another. And another. The facility wasn't just occupied. It was overflowing. Subject 0 immediately headed inside. "Move." Nobody argued. We followed. The steel door slowly closed behind us. The moment it sealed shut. Silence. The forest disappeared. The storm disappeared. Only the facility remained. Cold. Ancient. Terrifying. The corridor stretched endlessly ahead. Rows of laboratories lined the walls. Broken glass covered the floor. Rust stained the metal doors. It looked abandoned, yet somehow alive. The emergency lights flickered. Then I noticed photographs. Hundreds of photographs. Children. Dozens of children. Pinned to the walls. Each one carried a number. Subject 12. Subject 31. Subject 89. Subject 104. My stomach tightened. Then I found mine. A photograph of me as a child. Beneath it. Subject E-117. My pulse exploded. That's me. My mother lowered her head, unable to look at me. Then I noticed another photograph. The woman from the old picture. Subject 0. But beneath her photograph, something else was written. Not a number. A title. Genesis. The beginning. Subject 0 saw me staring. Then quietly said, I was the first. Fear filled the hallway. Then suddenly, bang, something slammed into a metal door nearby. Everyone jumped. Bang. Another impact. The door bent inward. Whatever was behind it was huge. Very huge. Daniel immediately raised his weapon. The door shook again, then finally ripped off its hinges. Crash. The metal flew across the corridor. And a creature stepped out. My heart nearly stopped. It looked human. Almost. But it was at least 9 feet tall. Its skin was pale white. Its mouth stretched across half its face. Rows of black teeth filled its jaw. The creature stared directly at us. Then smiled. A horrible smile. Subject 0 immediately stepped forward. No. The creature froze. Then surprisingly, it backed away. Fear appeared in its eyes. Fear. The monster was afraid of her. Then it ran, disappearing into the darkness. Silence followed. Daniel lowered his weapon. What was that? Subject 0 answered immediately. Subject 42. The casual way she said it terrified me. As if monsters were normal. As if creatures like that existed everywhere down here. Then we reached a massive steel elevator. Ancient. Covered in warning symbols. The words Level 7 were painted above it. My stomach dropped. This was it. The place beneath the place. The place everyone feared. Then the elevator doors opened by themselves. Slowly. Inside was darkness. Only darkness. Subject 0 stepped inside first. Then looked back at us. Her expression was grim. We end this tonight. The elevator began descending. Lower. And lower. And lower. The numbers on the wall changed. Level 1. Level 2. Level 3. Level 4. Level 5. Level 6. Then, Level 7. The elevator stopped. Silence. Nobody moved. The doors slowly opened, and my blood turned to ice. Because beyond the doors wasn't a laboratory. It wasn't a prison. It wasn't a research center. It was an entire underground city. A city hidden beneath the mountain. And in the center of that city stood a giant glass chamber. Inside it, something was moving. Something enormous. Then the chamber lights activated. And everyone froze. Because the thing inside wasn't a monster. Wasn't an experiment. Wasn't a creature. It was a human. A woman. A woman who looked exactly like me. The sight stole the air from my lungs. I couldn't move. Couldn't think. Couldn't breathe. Inside the giant glass chamber stood a woman. Motionless. Sleeping. Or maybe unconscious. She looked exactly like me. Not similar. Not close. Exactly. The same face. The same eyes. The same hair. The same everything. My heart hammered against my chest. What is this? Nobody answered. The underground city remained silent. Red emergency lights flashed overhead. The giant chamber glowed faintly. Then Subject 0 slowly stepped forward. Fear filled her eyes. A fear deeper than anything I'd seen before. Daniel noticed immediately. You know who she is. Subject 0 nodded. Very slowly. Then she whispered. She's Subject 1. Silence. My pulse exploded. What? The woman inside the chamber remained perfectly still. Like a statue. Like she wasn't even alive. Then Subject 0 revealed the truth. Before Project E. She paused. Before me. Another pause. There was her. The words echoed through the underground city. The beginning. The first subject. The original experiment. My stomach tightened. Then suddenly, the woman's eyes opened. My heart nearly stopped. Bright silver eyes. Not human eyes. Silver. Glowing. Watching us. The entire chamber vibrated. Alarms instantly intensified. Warning. 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 The robotic voice echoed through the city. Then another message appeared on giant screens overhead. Containment failure imminent. Fear spread through every part of my body. Subject 0 immediately turned toward us. We need to leave. What? Daniel looked shocked. I thought you said we were ending this. Subject 0 stared at the woman in the chamber. Then whispered. We can't. Silence. My pulse thundered. What is she? The answer came from my mother. A trembling answer. A terrified answer. The reason the project started. The underground city shook violently. Cracks spread across the glass chamber. The silver-eyed woman smiled. A small smile. A calm smile. The kind that somehow felt worse than screaming. Then she spoke. Despite being inside the sealed chamber. Despite being hundreds of feet away. Her voice appeared directly inside my head. Hello, Emily. I staggered backward. Pain exploded inside my skull. Memories flooded my mind. Thousands of memories. Not mine. Hers. Laboratories. Scientists. Experiments. Decades. Years. A lifetime. Then I saw something terrifying. Subject 1 wasn't created. She was found. Deep beneath another mountain. Inside an ancient underground structure. Not human. Never human. My heart nearly stopped. The vision vanished. I collapsed to one knee. Breathing hard. The woman continued smiling. Then she spoke again. Inside everyone's minds. You've grown. Daniel looked horrified. He could hear her too. Everyone could. Then the chamber cracked. A loud crack. Like thunder. A massive fracture spread across the glass. Subject 0 immediately shouted. Run. Nobody hesitated. We ran. Across the underground city. Past abandoned buildings. Past research labs. Past rusting vehicles. The chamber continued breaking behind us. Then came another crack. And another. And another. The city shook violently. The woman never moved. Never chased us. She simply watched. Smiling. Waiting. Then suddenly, the glass chamber shattered. The sound echoed like an explosion. Silence followed. Complete silence. No alarms. No screams. Nothing. I looked back. The chamber was empty. My blood turned to ice. Empty. The woman was gone. Then a voice whispered beside my ear. So close I could feel it. You should never have come here. I spun around. Nobody. Nothing. Empty air. Then every light inside the underground city went dark. Total darkness swallowed everything. People screamed. Daniel shouted. Rebecca called my name. Then dozens of silver eyes opened throughout the darkness. Watching us. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. And at the center of them all. One pair of eyes glowed brighter than the rest. Subject 1 had escaped. And she was no longer alone. Subject 1 had escaped. Darkness covered the underground city. Every light was gone. Every alarm had fallen silent. Only the silver eyes remained. Hundreds of them. Watching. Waiting. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. Emily. Rebecca's voice echoed somewhere nearby. Then Daniel shouted. Stay together. Fear spread through the darkness. Nobody knew where Subject 1 was. Nobody knew where the other creatures were. Then a soft laugh echoed through the city. A woman's laugh. Calm. Beautiful. Terrifying. Subject 1. The silver eyes immediately disappeared. All of them. At once. The sudden silence felt worse. Much worse. Then a bright white light appeared. Far away. At the center of the city. My pulse quickened. The light slowly grew stronger. Until a figure became visible. A woman. Standing alone. Watching us. Subject 1. She smiled. Then began walking toward us. Slowly. Calmly. Like she had all the time in the world. Daniel raised his weapon. Stop. Subject 1 continued walking. Daniel fired. Bang. The bullet crossed the distance instantly. Then stopped. Frozen in midair. My heart nearly stopped. The bullet simply hovered there. Motionless. Then fell to the ground. Subject 1 smiled. You still believe violence solves everything. The city trembled. The ground shook violently. Massive cracks appeared across nearby buildings. Something huge was moving beneath us. Then another roar echoed underground. Not Subject X. Not Subject 42. Something bigger. Something older. Subject 0 suddenly stepped forward. Enough. Subject 1 stopped walking. The two women stared at each other. Mirror images. Creator and creation. Or perhaps something even stranger. For several seconds nobody spoke. Then Subject 1 smiled. Gensis. Subject 0's expression darkened. Don't call me that. The smile widened. You were always my favorite. A chill ran through my body. Favorite. What exactly was Subject 0? Then Subject 1 looked directly at me. Silver eyes glowing. Do you know why you exist? My throat felt dry. No. Subject 1 laughed softly, then pointed toward me. Because I chose you. Silence. The words echoed through the underground city. My pulse thundered. What? Subject 1 tilted her head. Every subject was created from my DNA. The city suddenly felt colder. Disease-resistant. Stronger. Smarter. Longer lifespan. She smiled. But only one survived perfectly. Then she pointed directly at me. You. The realization hit like a truck. Project E. The experiments. The clones. The facility. It had all been about creating me. Then Subject 1 revealed something worse. Your mother didn't save you. I looked toward my mother. Fear filled her face. Then Subject 1 continued. I did. My heart nearly stopped. No. Subject 1 nodded. When the facility decided to terminate Project E. A pause. I stopped them. The memories began returning. Faster now. Scientists arguing. Alarms. Children crying. A woman opening doors. A woman with silver eyes. Subject 1. Then another memory appeared. My mother carrying me through a hallway. Running. Escaping. While Subject 1 watched from behind a glass wall. Letting us go. The vision vanished. My breathing became rapid. Then suddenly, the ground exploded. Crash. Everyone fell. Buildings collapsed. Dust filled the underground city. A deafening roar echoed from beneath us. The sound was so powerful that the air itself vibrated. Subject 1's smile disappeared instantly. Fear appeared in her silver eyes. Real fear. The same fear I had seen in Subject 0. Then she whispered. No. The ground cracked open. A massive fissure split the city in half. And from the darkness below, something began rising. Slowly. Very slowly. My heart nearly stopped. A giant hand emerged first. A hand larger than a truck. Then another. Then a face. A gigantic face. Ancient. Pale. Covered in strange symbols. Its glowing eyes opened. The entire city shook violently. Even Subject 1 looked terrified. Then Subject 0 whispered the words that made everyone's blood run cold. The first subject. Silence. My pulse exploded. What? Subject 0 stared at the enormous figure. Then answered. The thing they found before Subject 1. The giant eyes slowly focused on us. And for the first time, the creature smiled. The thing they found before Subject 1. The words echoed through the underground city. My heart pounded violently. The giant creature continued rising from the darkness below. Its body was enormous, far larger than any building around us. Ancient symbols covered its pale skin. Glowing softly, moving, almost alive. The ground trembled beneath every movement. Dust filled the air, buildings collapsed. And for the first time since I had met her, Subject 1 looked afraid, very afraid. The gigantic creature slowly opened its eyes. Golden eyes, ancient eyes, eyes that looked older than humanity itself. Then it spoke. One word, only one, yet the sound shook the entire mountain. Finally, silence followed. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Subject 0 stepped backward. No. Subject 1 stared at the giant being. Almost frozen. The creature slowly looked around the underground city, studying everything, watching everyone. Then its gaze settled on Subject 1. The smile vanished from her face. The giant creature smiled instead. A terrible smile. Then it spoke again. My child. My blood ran cold. Subject 1 looked horrified. The city fell silent. What? The word escaped my lips. Nobody answered. Then the giant creature revealed the truth. I remember creating you. The world stopped. Everything froze. Subject 1 shook her head. No. The creature smiled wider. Denial. Its voice echoed like thunder. You humans always choose denial. My pulse exploded. Humans. Then memories suddenly flooded my mind. Not mine. Ancient memories. Buried memories. Images of mountains. Underground temples. Strange symbols. And the giant creature sleeping beneath the earth. For centuries. For thousands of years. Waiting. Watching. Dreaming. I staggered backward. Pain shot through my head. Then I understood. Subject 1 wasn't the beginning. She never was. She was created from something else. Something much older. Something buried beneath the mountain. The first subject. The original source. The real experiment. Then Subject 1 finally spoke. Her voice trembled. You shouldn't exist. The creature laughed. A deep terrifying laugh. Then answered. Neither should you. The underground city shook again. Massive cracks spread through the streets. Buildings collapsed. Steel structures twisted apart. The entire facility was dying. Then the giant creature turned toward me. My heart nearly stopped. Golden eyes locked onto mine. For several seconds it simply stared, studying me, watching me. Then it smiled, and whispered, "Interesting." Fear exploded through my body. Subject Zero immediately stepped between us, protecting me. The giant creature laughed. "You made another." Subject Zero remained silent. Then the creature pointed directly at me. "The perfect one." My pulse thundered. Perfect. The word sounded wrong. Dangerous. Then Subject One suddenly shouted, "Don't listen to him." The giant creature looked amused. "You still fear the truth." The city trembled violently. Then something impossible happened. The glowing symbols across the creature's skin began shining brighter. The same symbols suddenly appeared on Subject One's arms. Then on Subject Zero. Then, on mine. Pain exploded through my body. I screamed, falling to my knees. The symbols glowed beneath my skin. Burning, moving, alive. The memories returned again. Stronger, faster. This time I saw everything. The facility, Project E, Subject 1, Subject 0, and the giant creature. Scientists had discovered it beneath an ancient temple 25 years ago. Buried deep underground, sleeping, impossible, not human. The DNA recovered from its body had changed. Everything. Project E was born, not to clone people, not to cure disease, but to recreate something powerful, something immortal. Then the vision ended. I gasped for air. The symbols slowly faded. Everyone stared at me. Then Subject One whispered, "No." Fear filled her face. Real fear. Then she looked at Subject Zero and said the words that changed everything. "She's awakening." Silence. The giant creature smiled. Subject Zero looked horrified. My mother began crying. Daniel looked completely confused. "What does that mean?" Nobody answered. Then suddenly, a massive explosion shook the city. The ceiling cracked. Chunks of rock crashed down. The mountain was collapsing. The giant creature slowly stood to its full height. Hundreds of feet tall, ancient, powerful, awake. Then it raised one enormous hand toward me, and spoke a sentence that made my blood run cold. "Come home, Emily." The giant creature's voice echoed through the collapsing underground city. The words seemed to shake reality itself. My heart pounded. The glowing symbols beneath my skin burned hotter. Pain shot through every part of my body. I dropped to one knee, screaming. The mountain trembled violently. Buildings collapsed around us. Dust filled the air, and still the giant creature kept staring at me. Waiting, calling, watching. Then another memory exploded inside my head. A memory older than my life. Older than Project E. Older than the facility itself. I saw ancient people gathered around a massive underground temple. Thousands of years ago, they worshipped something buried beneath the earth. The same creature standing before me now. The first subject. Except that wasn't its real name. It never was. That name had been given by scientists. The ancient people called it something else. A name forgotten by history. A name that suddenly appeared inside my mind. Astrael. The moment I remembered the name, the creature smiled. A terrible smile. "Now you remember." My pulse exploded. "No." Astrael slowly lowered its enormous hand. "You were never human." The words hit me like a truck. Silence filled the city. Even Subject One looked terrified. Then Astrael continued. "You were the final vessel." The symbols across my arms glowed brighter. I screamed again. Subject Zero rushed toward me. "Fight it." My vision blurred. The city around me began disappearing. Fading. Changing. I was no longer standing inside the facility. I stood somewhere else. An endless black void. Silent. Empty. And Astrael stood before me. Not gigantic. Human-sized. Its golden eyes watched me calmly. For the first time, it didn't look terrifying. It looked ancient. Tired. Lonely. "Why are you doing this?" I asked. Astrael smiled sadly, then answered, "Because I am dying." The answer shocked me. "What?" Astrael looked upward, toward a sky that didn't exist. "My kind disappeared long ago." A pause. "I am the last." The void remained silent. Then Astrael stepped closer. "You were created to continue what remains." Fear filled my chest. "No. You carry my memories." No, you carry my power. No, you carry my future. The symbols burned brighter. Then Astrael reached toward me. A single touch. That's all it wanted. One touch. And somehow I knew, if I accepted, everything would change. Forever. Then another voice echoed through the darkness. A familiar voice. My mother. Emily. The void cracked. Light flooded in. Reality returned. The underground city reappeared. The collapsing buildings. The screaming alarms. The falling debris. Everyone. Everything. My mother was holding me. Crying. Don't listen to him. Astrael watched silently. Then, Subject 1 stepped forward. For the first time, she stood between me and Astrael. Protecting me. My pulse quickened. Why? Then Subject 1 looked directly at Astrael. And whispered, "You promised." The giant creature froze. The city became silent. Astrael slowly turned toward her. That promise ended centuries ago. Fear crossed Subject 1's face. Then Astrael revealed the final truth. The truth hidden since the beginning. You were my first attempt. Silence. Subject 1 looked shattered. Astrael pointed toward Subject 0. She was the second. Then it pointed toward me. And my blood ran cold. Emily is the last. The mountain shook violently. Massive cracks spread across the ceiling. Time was running out. The facility was dying. Then Subject 1 suddenly smiled. A strange smile. A sad smile. Like someone finally accepting their fate. She looked at me. Then whispered, "Don't become me." Before anyone could react, Subject 1 ran toward Astrael. The giant creature's eyes widened. For the first time, surprise. Then Subject 1 touched Astrael's glowing hand. A blinding white light exploded across the city. The mountain shook. The facility screamed. Reality itself seemed to crack apart. Everyone covered their eyes. The light grew brighter, 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 until everything disappeared. And in the center of the light, Subject 1 smiled. One final time. Then the light consumed everything. The underground city vanished. The collapsing buildings vanished. The alarms vanished. Even the sound disappeared. For a moment, there was nothing. Only white light. Endless white light. I couldn't feel my body. Couldn't feel the ground. Couldn't even feel time passing. Then slowly, the light began fading. Shapes appeared. Voices returned. Reality rebuilt itself around me. My vision cleared. And I found myself lying on the floor of the underground city. Dust drifted through the air. Broken concrete surrounded me. The facility was silent. Completely silent. My head hurt. Every muscle ached. Slowly, I stood. Mom. No answer. Rebecca. Nothing. Fear filled my chest. Then I saw them. My mother. Rebecca. Daniel. All alive. All unconscious. Relief washed over me. But then I noticed something else. Astrael was gone. The giant creature had disappeared. Completely. Only Subject 1 remained, standing alone, at the center of the ruined city. My pulse quickened. She looked different. Older somehow. Weaker. The silver glow inside her eyes was fading. Slowly dying. I walked toward her. Subject 1. She smiled softly. Looks like it worked. What worked? She looked around the ruined city. Then answered. I broke the connection. The words echoed through the silence. A cold realization formed inside me. The connection between you and Astrael. She nodded. And you. My heart skipped a beat. What? Subject 1 looked at me. For the first time, not as an experiment, not as a creation, but as a person. Astrael needed a vessel. The memories returned. The symbols. The visions. The voice calling me home. Then Subject 1 continued. He planned to live through you. A chill ran through my body. Everything suddenly made sense. Project E. The experiments. The clones. The facility. All of it had been leading toward one goal. Creating the perfect vessel. Creating me. Then tears appeared in Subject 1's eyes. But you deserved a life. Silence filled the city. Then I finally understood. Subject 1 hadn't saved me once. She had been saving me my entire life. From the beginning, the silver light inside her eyes grew weaker. I felt my throat tighten. You're dying. She smiled sadly. Little. No, it's okay. The words hurt more than they should have. Then suddenly, a familiar voice echoed through the ruins. Emily. I turned. My mother was awake. Tears filled her eyes. Rebecca stood beside her. Daniel too. They were alive. We were alive. The nightmare was finally ending. Then Subject 1 looked upward. Toward the collapsing ceiling, toward the world above, and smiled. Astral is gone. My pulse quickened. Gone. She nodded. Forever. The facility trembled again. Small pieces of stone fell from above. Time was running out. Then Subject 1 stepped toward me and placed something in my hand. A small silver pendant. Warm. Glowing faintly. What is this? She smiled. A reminder. Of what? For several seconds she simply stared at me. Then answered. That you were never a mistake. Tears filled my eyes. Then the silver light surrounding her began growing brighter. 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 My stomach dropped. No. She nodded. It's time. The underground city shook violently. The mountain was collapsing. We had to leave. Now. But I couldn't move. Couldn't leave. Not yet. Subject 1 smiled one last time. Then whispered. Live, Emily. The light exploded. A beautiful silver light. Warm. Peaceful. Gentle. And when it faded, she was gone. Only the pendant remained. Silence filled the city. The end had finally come. We ran. Through collapsing tunnels. Through ruined laboratories. Through falling debris. Toward the surface. Minutes later, we burst from the mountain. Just as the entrance collapsed forever. The entire facility disappeared beneath thousands of tons of rock. Buried forever. Its secrets sealed forever. Or so we hoped. 1 year later, the world moved on. The facility was gone. Project E was gone. Astral was gone. For the first time in my life, I was free. I lived with my mother. The woman I thought I'd lost forever. Rebecca remained close. Daniel disappeared. Nobody knew where. Maybe he preferred it that way. Life became normal, peaceful, real. Then one evening, exactly 1 year later, I opened an old wooden box. Inside lay the silver pendant Subject 1 had given me. The moment I touched it, the pendant glowed, softly, warmly. A hidden compartment opened. My heart skipped a beat. Inside was a folded piece of paper. A note, written by Subject 1. My hands trembled as I opened it. Only one sentence was written inside. If you're reading this, then I was right. A pause. Then the final line. The future belongs to you now. I smiled. For the first time in a very long time. Then I folded the note. Looked toward the sunset. And finally walked away. Not as Subject E117. Not as a project. Not as an experiment. Not as a vessel. But simply, Emily. The end.